Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
Watch Mojo UK, and today...
Hey. What's wrong with Charles? Okay, let's go. Preemptive, like, easy content. Watch Mojo UK. Go.
We're counting down our picks for the 10 times King Charles pissed off everyone.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel
Same.
and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at scandals and controversies involving the new king that has really annoyed the UK public. Who would you prefer to be the next monarch, William or Harry? Let us know below.
William.
Number 10. Bin Laden money. In 1979, Charles set up the Prince of Wales Charitable Fund, which provides cash to organisations in various fields. Well, being a charity, it needs donations to function, but maybe some donors cause more problems than it's worth. It was discovered that the charity accepted £1 million from Bakr bin Laden, the half-brother of Osama. Charles ignored the protests of others when he took the cash. Whilst most of the bin Laden family hasn't been involved in
Am I dumb? I mean, what's the issue there? They gave you $1 million.
Of others when he took the cash. Whilst most of the bin Laden family hasn't been involved in Osama's terrible deeds, the connection has still upset some. Charles's charity got in hot water again recently when he...
I don't know how I feel about that. I need more time to think. So people are mad. Okay.
accepted around €3 million from 2011 to 2015 from Sheikh Hamad bin Jassim, former Qatar Prime Minister. One payment was received in a bag, which was really strange. Number 9. Camilla Gate or Tampon Gate. Ew. Just ew. Shortly after Charles and Diana announced they were splitting up, an audio transcript of a conversation between Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles was released in the newspapers. Originally recorded in 1989, the transcript is flirty and sometimes a bit explicit, but also quite cringy. At one point, Charles states in order to be close to Parker Bowles, he wants to be turned into a Tampax. Yep. Diana reportedly described the conversation as sick, which is fair enough hearing your apparent husband saying such scandalous things to another woman. Charles seemingly had ambitions of being a polygamy prince. Several times over the marriage to Diana, and sometimes with her present, he made public jokes about it being easier for him to have 2 wives. Number 8. Inappropriate nickname. We've all given a nickname to someone, a pet or an object, but not...
Look, I don't have this romantic view of any monarchy, and so these people are sort of just people to me. Now, I know they have traditions to uphold, and they have roles to fill in a society that I'm not so familiar with that I would care about this stuff that much, but, you know, he's a person, he has flaws, and, you know.
Many of us would provide a friend with a name that has racial undertones. But that's exactly what Charles did to his British Asian chum Kuldip Singh Dillon. The two first met as members of the Cirencester Polo Club. It was discovered that Charles named Dillon Sooty, and it probably had nothing to do with the puppet. According to reports, even William and Harry had used the nickname for Dillon. He publicly stated that Charles wasn't racist for naming him Sooty. The royal family...
What does that mean, Sooty?
Family were experiencing a bit of a race row at the time, as Harry was recorded using a slur when talking about a captain in the Pakistan Army. Number 7. Define love. With the happy news that Charles...
So what is that? Is that like a slur name for South Asian people in Britain, or...
Army. Number 7. Define love. With the happy news that Charles and Diana were engaged in a fairy tale-esque fashion, they decided to do a press interview about it. Now, you might be expecting some upsetting declarations of love at their happy event, but nah, that's not what happened. Instead, Diana looks uncomfortable throughout, and it got worse. When asked by the interviewer if they were in love, Diana quickly responded affirmatively. Charles, not so much. He responded by stating,
Whatever in love means.
It's probably good this moment happened right at the end of the interview rather than at the start. Otherwise, it could have gotten a whole lot more awkward, if that's possible. Number 6. Homeopathy. Homeopathy is a bit of a tricky subject. Many believe in the practice, but others don't, and think it's dangerous, especially when used instead of modern medicine. But one supporter of the field is Charles. He's made many speeches in support of homeopathy. In 1982,
What is
he spoke
homeopathy?
at the 150th
Just any pseudoscientific system of alternative medicine. Okay. All right. Where was I? Oh, no. God. Here we go.
anniversary of the British Medical Association. When talking about modern medicine, he said it was like the celebrated Tower of Pisa, slightly off balance. This caused a rift between the then prince and medical professionals ever since. In 2013, there were claims he was lobbying then Health Secretary Jeremy Hunt to have homeopathy within the NHS. Then, in 2019, Charles became a patron for the Faculty of Homeopathy, dividing opinions on Charles and homeopathy even further.
Patients should be able to gain the benefit of the best of both worlds.
Number 5. Paradise Papers. The 2010s had several financial scandals that rocked the wealthy. In 2016, we had the Panama Papers. Then, in 2017, the Paradise Papers. This massive leak concerned wealthy companies and people using offshore tax havens. One of the names on the list was, of course, Charles. Through his private estate, the Duchy of Cornwall, they invested millions of pounds into Sustainable Forestry Limited, a company run by his friend Hugh Van Cutsum. The group lobbied politicians to change the climate rules to allow carbon credits from rainforests to be traded. Considering Charles gave a speech about the cost of living whilst sitting on a golden throne in 2022, he might not be good when it comes to cash. Number 4. Cash for honours. Apparently, Charles's charities and scandals go together like Queen Elizabeth and corgis. This time, it's the Prince's Foundation.
Didn't she have like 36 or some crazy number of corgis in her
In
lifetime?
2021, it was discovered that the charity was being investigated for a cash for honours controversy. Basically, an individual paid a certain sum into the charity who then gets access to Charles, with brokers getting a cut of the donation. Michael Fawcett, former royal valet and then chief executive of the foundation, was accused of giving a CBE to Saudi businessman Mahfouz Marai Mubarak bin Mahfouz after he donated £1.5 million. Later, Fawcett allegedly stated in a letter that he would change it to a knighthood and support Mahfouz's application for British citizenship. In February 2022, the Metropolitan Police launched an investigation into the scandal. Number 3. Spider Memos. After a 10-year-long legal battle, a secret stash of letters that Charles wrote was released to the public. Nicknamed the Spider Memos due to the King's handwriting, these 27 memos written between 2004 to 2005 showed Charles attempting to lobby politicians and then Prime Minister Tony Blair on a load of different issues. Topics covered included Charles demanding better equipment for troops in Iraq, asking for a badger cull in the UK, a desire to promote homeopathy,
A badger?
for a badger cull in the UK, a desire to promote homeopathy, investigating the illegal fishing of the Patagonian toothfish, and more. With this in mind, some of those involved in republic movements in the UK and Australia are concerned about how much Charles will exert his political influence now he's taken the throne.
I feel like so far these haven't been like, whoa, like, for someone who's in the public eye for as long as he is. Okay, I mean, let's see what's next.
Number 2. Emergency opera. When a child has a terrible accident and needs to be hospitalized, most parents would be by their side until they're better. But not Charles. In June 1991, a school friend of 8-year-old William was swinging a golf club when it accidentally connected with the prince's head, fracturing his skull. He underwent a 70-minute operation to repair the damage. Diana cancelled a trip to Yorkshire to be with her son in the hospital. Charles popped in for a bit, but then left to go off to the opera. Yep, he went to see Tosca at Covent Garden. The palace stated he was in close contact with the doctors, but not that close, since he wasn't even in the building. Number 1. The Jonathan Dimbleby interview.
Okay, I was trying to come up with like, okay, maybe he had stuff to do. I don't know his job, but if he was going to the opera,
Any
breakdown
Yikes.
of a marriage is obviously a dreadful thing.
Charles in interviews aren't a great mix. While separating from Diana, he decided to make a PR film with Jonathan Dimbleby. The film was taken over 18 months and featured a behind-the-scenes look at the future king. But when he spoke about his marriage to Diana, things went off the rails. Charles was asked whether he was unfaithful. He responded by stating,
Yes. Until it became irretrievably broken down.
so the then Prince of Wales admitted to adultery in public. His divorce from Diana was a bit of a scandal overall. After all, she's beloved after helping during the HIV crisis and with landmines in Angola, whilst Charles isn't quite held in such high regard by the British public.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo UK.
FIFA scandals. Another.
The winner.
Yeah, that was interesting. Look, I don't know much about King Charles, Prince Charles, now King Charles, and so I'm not going to let this really form my opinion of him. But if I'm going to be honest, somewhat of a tame list, but maybe my standards are just lowered when it comes to public people. All right. Hope you're all doing well, and I'll see you guys next time, all right? Let me know what you think of the stuff, and I'll see your comments. Bye, guys.